And but the Joker thing drives me crazy because it's like one of those things where I don't think a lot of people who grew up reading DC comics. I read Marvel comics growing up, but I like DC heroes. I like Superman and Batman and all those guys. I loved all the movies with them. I don't think a lot of people realize that the Joker is a shitty character. It's an evil clown.
Yeah,
like Batman fights an evil clown. That's all it is. It's like a 50s style villain, and it's shitty. And it's like they've cast the Joker in a few movies now, a lot of different productions. They had Jack Nicholson as the Joker. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
They had Heath Ledger as Joker. He was amazing. Mark Hamill played the Joker. Mark Hamill can't play any part without people comparing him to Luke Skywalker and giving him tons of shit. Mark Hamill played the Joker. Everybody loved him. Fucking Cesar Romero played the Joker.
With the little mustache, right?
He had a mustache that he refused to shave, and they just put white paint over the top of it. All of them were perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like there's literally never been a bad Joker.
People complained even when Heath Ledger was cast initially about him being the Joker.
Lost their shit, yeah.
But there's literally never been a bad interpretation of the Joker. I've never seen it. Like, that's the bad example of the Joker. There's Cesar Romero right there. You can see his mustache underneath the white makeup. It's like, I don't know that you can play that part poorly. I don't know that it can be done. I think we've already kind of like given that character a pass on a fundamental level because it's an evil clown.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not saying I don't like it. I love the Joker. The Joker's an amazing character. But it's at the end of the day, it's a fucking evil clown. You know, the Joker. If you went to any other movie and they're like, well, who's the villain in this Avengers? It's like Ultron. It's like, what's Ultron? It's like, oh, he's a clown. You'd be like, I'm not going to see that movie. I'm not going to go do it. Or there's like an evil clown in Star Wars. You'd be like, the fuck is this bullshit? It would be the worst thing in the movie.
So Batman snuck it in long ago to where they can just keep picking him
for whatever reason, the Joker works. He's like the best villain in anything. So just wait and see. You know, it's like, it's not going to be that bad. There's never been a bad Joker.
Man, you should have
just go with the track record.
You should have been here the other week when I was arguing with Jack about it.
Oh, what did he say?
His panties are in a fucking knot.
Why?
He said it looks like some kid who went to Hot Topic.
Dude,
I was like,
someone called him a juggalo.
What? And I said, you know what? What's the point? You're getting upset about these pictures? People always get upset about these early casting pictures and the movie comes out and it's fucking fine.
And these are like, what, camera phones? It's not like you're actually seeing the final colored footage and making it look cool.
Did you see...
People, oh, God.
Did you see, already for some reason, I don't know why this is already out, but there was like an 18-minute behind-the-scenes video of like, of stunts from Mad Max.
Crazy.
That got released today. And it's bizarre, like you said, not color-corrected. Like, oh, right, they filmed this movie in the real world.
Yeah.
It has real colors. And then it goes through all that post, and it looks crazy once you see the final product.
Yeah.
It looks nothing alike. Yeah. Like, if you saw those photos, and you're like, oh, they're making a Mad Max, I don't think we should be showing this, because there might be spoilers for people.
Have you guys seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Yes, I saw it again last night.
I gotta see it.
You haven't?
I haven't seen it
I
yet.
can't remember the last time I went and saw a movie opening weekend, and I did it for this one.
With kids, I can't see adult movies that often because it's like, you know, I'm not going to say, hey, you kids hang out here. I'm going to go see a movie, you know? So I just wait until like late on a weeknight. Kids are asleep and then go see a movie then. Yeah, that's the kid. So that's confirmation that that's the kid, right?
He's got those evil eyebrows.
He looks a tiny bit in the eyes.
Brandon can't look.
In the eyes a little bit. He looks like Jonesy a little bit.
Speaking of Joker, okay, they actually do have a bad interpretation.
Well, no, it's because when he's looking in it, all I could think of is he actually sees me doing this podcast, because that's what's terrifying about Pennywise.
He sees you from pictures and stuff?
I don't want to look at that picture when he's looking to the camera, because like there's something about it being like, that's what's terrified about Pennywise. He just knows. Like if you're looking at a book of Pennywise and he like reaches through it because he knows.
Because he can see you through pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah.
You know it's not real, right?
But he's not real in the book, and he's still real to you.
He's not real
and like
in the not real
thinks,
thing? Does that make it real?
I'm just worried that if I go crazy, my craziness is going to manifest itself in Pennywise.
Oh my God, you just exactly described my ex-wife's description of why she doesn't like ghosts. You remember that? my ex-wife was afraid of ghosts, and I was like, "What? You're afraid of ghosts?" And she goes, "I'm afraid of seeing a ghost." And I go, "What does that mean?" She said, "Well, if I see a ghost, that means I'm crazy." And I said, "So you're afraid of going crazy?" She goes, "No, I'm afraid of ghosts." That was it. That was her explanation for it. Made no fucking sense to me ever.
What are you trying to say?
You have the exact same explanation as her as to why you're afraid of. You're afraid that if you go crazy, you'll see Pennywise. Therefore, you're afraid of Pennywise.
No. It can be both.
It can be both?
I'm just saying the more I see it and the more I remember it, the more likely that when I go crazy, my brain is going to be like, all right, well, what are we going to do to make this guy crazy?
Are you wearing an Apple Watch?
I am.
When'd you get an Apple Watch?
Like 2 weeks ago.
A better question: why did you get an Apple Watch?
Yeah,
It's great.
Why did you get an Apple Watch?
Why did it, or do I like it?
I'm still waiting for somebody to explain to me what the fuck an Apple Watch
That's
would
the
do.
problem, is because they're marketing it as an Apple Watch. But if they market it as something specific, like if, for instance, they were saying it's a good exercise device, it would be a phenomenally better exercise device than any of the Fitbits
So it's a
for
good
not that
exercise
much money.
device.
It's amazing because it not only supports its first-party exercise tracker where it like reminds you to get up, but also all the third-party ones
Get
like
up.
run.
That's the first step
Modern-day
in working
fitness.
out.
Hey,
Get up.
get up, Blaine.
No, you'd be surprised. It's like, hey, get up, and you're like, I should get up.
Never
think
skip
that-
get up day.
Paula's family was in town.
It's what high quality
They
you
were?
expect to.
Yeah.
How'd you embarrass yourself this time?
I didn't necessarily embarrass myself. Things started out really well. I mean, they didn't go horribly, but constantly trying to get on great terms with the dad. Immediately saw me, went to shake his head,
Shake his head.
shake his hand, grabbed it,
What about-
and then like pulled me forward
Dad.
and had a really nice bear hug. It was like an embrace, but at the same time, gonna squeeze you a
Threatening.
little bit.
Yeah.
And
demonstrate your power.
the last night they
what I
were
do.
there, he had a couple drinks,
good for
and whenever I was leaving,
Telling the story
he
is
like
a great way to get on this good side, Gus. Don't you think? Tell us more about your drunk. Anyway, go ahead.
no. He just had a couple drinks. So then I was like, oh, okay, bye. And then like as I was leaving, he just turned to me and he just said, just like a little wag of the finger, as I'm walking away, and I'm like, this has no context. Like, what exactly am I supposed to like conclude from this, other than that it's like this giant man, just like somewhat slightly threatening me as I walk away.
Maybe he was like, "You're an all right guy."
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that, Brandon.
That
You think so?
Okay.
Or like, that's a closet. Go out the door. Like maybe that's what it was too.
Yeah,
So I'm reading too much into it.
I think so.
Maybe so.
There's been worse.
I once had a dad clean a shotgun while I came to pick up his
Do
daughter.
people really do that?
I thought it was way over the top. It didn't have any effect on me at all.
Yeah.
You think, well, that guy's crazy, so his daughter must be crazy as well.
If anything, that tells me they have a sense of humor. I stayed at a girlfriend's house
That's
once,
not funny.
and her dad put a camera.
No way.
It wasn't wired or anything. He was just fucking around.
It was
cool.
wireless, like the iPhone and
connected
Apple
to his watch.
She was
He's in the other room.
There's one time I went to church with a girlfriend. She was Catholic, and they do this prayer thing, and everybody holds hands.
Yeah, it's really unique to Catholic Church, Gus. They do prayers.
They do this prayer thing where you hold hands. That's kind of unique.
I grew up
think.
Catholic, never held anybody's hand.
Well, they do in this church, Bernie.
Okay.
I
So
do that all the
anyways,
time, every
I had
week.
my
It's when you-
girlfriend
it's when you
on
do the
one
Our Father.
side and her dad on the
You
other.
hold hands in church to do the
Yeah.
Our Father?
You make like a chain all throughout the church.
Thank you.
Never have done that.
In the
the
Catholic
time.
church?
Yeah.
Never have done that. I grew up Catholic.
No, I did it all the
My
time.
father was a Catholic priest. My mother was a Catholic nun. We never held
I
hands
got you,
to say
Blaine.
Our Father.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
You're
Fucking lunatics.
I won you back.
Yeah. No, you didn't. But
Oh,
go
Never
ahead.
did a Catholic church,
Well-
Methodist church, all the time. They love to touch.
Well, anyways, I got my hands mixed up again, and
What?
I laced fingers with both of them. So I spent about, how long is that prayer?
Pretty long.
Good minute.
minute and a half.
Laced fingers, sweating into my girlfriend's dad's hand.
Oh my God! You
Fucking
did like
awkward.
the full. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
You guys are a couple now. Do you think we tickle his palm with your middle finger a little bit there?
It was so awkward.
That I would let go. I would say
How
we
old
did
were
that
you?
wrong. We got to regrip.
I was 21, 22.
At that point, you got to figure out how to drop something and be like, "Oh, my wallet." I gotta,
I was
gotta pick
just
that up.
locked in. I just sat there the whole time. I could feel myself sweating. I was just fucking do it, man. Just do this prayer.
He thought you were playing chicken with him.
Who's gonna drop it first?
So did he come in with lacy fingers as well?
I think he came in with the cupped, and then I was just like, "Loop."
You did.
If you
No
go
one
for-
will demonstrate with me.
If
I
you
think
go
I
for-
really
everyone's
won't.
afraid.
I really won't. I don't want to do it.
Brandon.
Here,
Yeah.
Here, you role play with him, Gus.
So he went in like that, and then I think I went in kind of like, how did I do it? It was like that.
Because
normally-
normally it should be like this.
Like that. Well, I
Okay,
think,
hold on. Don't even think about it. Just do it.
I think he gave me one of the.
Yeah, see?
So he gave me the under,
You're
and I
weird.
gave him the over, and then I was just like,
you lace your fingers up. Oh my God.
my girlfriend was
Laces
over there.
out.
That's unbelievable to me.
Did you pull his hand up and just like put it at your heart?
Bro. This prayer's getting to me.
It's like a couple skate. Did you ever have any really tough breakups?
I don't think so. The weird thing, like thinking back about all the relationships I was ever in, I've never been dumped. I always was the person who ended it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
never did like what Brandon said, where you just acted like an asshole long enough to where the
that's my life. I've been doing that for a couple
Wrong.
of decades
that's me
already.
trying to break up with the world.
Yeah.
I wasn't
so-
an asshole. I just kept picking fights.
That's being an asshole.
That's kind of shitty, Brandon.
What do you think an asshole is?
No, not fights. Like more like
I was gonna pick a
disagreements about like random stuff.
all the time. That's an asshole.
Yeah, but not like I don't like your mother. Like stuff like
Cut your losses and just end it.
So specific.
like no, like trivial things.
Hey,
but
babe,
just like
how's it
arguing
going?
about
I
it.
don't
a lot.
like your mother. Why don't you break up with me?
That's just more effort
You
than
mother-
just.
And I
Never
bet she like
ending it.
watches like James Dean's movies from the 50s. Like, how am I going to be bad? Because you get a motorcycle
leather jacket.
or a leather
brooding.
jacket.
I would like to see Brandon. It's like 50s style James Dean brooding, getting some girl to break up with him.
He's like smoking a cigarette. Like, yeah, babe, I live fast. I'm going to die young.
She
Is
did that
that
thing where
it?
she's like, she like mentions breakup. And you go, well, if you want to break up, we'll break up. Like that whole
Yeah.
thing. You just
yeah.
walked her into it.
No, it's just like, all right, I see your point now that you say it. I think about it. It's not an issue of trying to be. It's like an issue of you think in your head that's somehow better than just being like, hey, I don't want you to be here. Like I don't think this is working out. Because no matter what you say, it always feels the same way.
It does.
So trying to like make it seem like they're in a better position at the time, I thought was a better route. But it's all bad. There's no good or bad way. It's all bad.
Well, somebody put it best to me that like you should never be heartbroken over a breakup. One way you can get over it a lot easier is you just try to think about everyone you've ever broken up with and thought about how you felt about those people. That's exactly how the person who broke up with you feels about you. That's exactly they're spending almost no time thinking about you at that point in time. After you're broken up, they're just like, I'm glad to be rid of this person. I'm gone. So pining away over that person is not worth even a second of your time.
I want to say, I'm looking at Twitter here, according to @ElliErratic, @Mr. Farmahini, that's the definition of an asshole in a relationship. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. Exactly right. You say, I'm not being an
out.
asshole. I'm just picking fights every possible opportunity.
Not every possible. I remember it was mostly like about like the one that stands up was like the last straw was like about J.K. Rowling and like how good an author she was.
And you got to fight over that.
Yeah, she's like I don't go, and I kept like no, let's keep talking about it.
Yeah, you really waited. You picked your battles, right? You picked the important ones, and
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't everything.
No,
it
that's
was
what I'm
just
saying.
the big
It's
ones.
not like it's just like really trivial stuff that just says not like oh we kind of see different.
You'd
Look,
always
there's
just,
no good way to do it. It's always going to be bad.
typically you just weigh your
And
pros
I was
cons.
18. Give me a break.
Okay.
I don't do that now.
I just say you just weigh your pros and cons. You're like, all right, why is it good to date this person? Why is it bad? Are these bad things that I can put up with long term?
No, that's not what
If
we're
I'm
talking
thinking
about.
this in depth, then we should just break up.
You shouldn't
No.
be thinking about that at your age. Just do you want to be with this person or not? That's it.
You
Yeah.
can
That's
make a conscious decision whether or not it's a good thing, but it's still a whole process to go through that's really like sucks for everybody.
If you're weighing pros and cons, well, Gus,
Yeah.
back me up here. If he's weighing pros and cons
That's it.
while you're dating at 20, how old are you?
5?
25?
I would say he doesn't want to waste his time. He's young, but I mean, you don't have to think too deeply about it. You're not marrying the person,
Right. Just then we're like have a pros and cons list or whatever. It's like you're,
Maybe you have a pros and cons list after a year.
Although
I don't know.
I feel like I'm
2 years?
approaching the age where marriage should be kind of.
Nah.
Well, I mean, my
No.
sister was
Not for
married
your
by
generation.
this time.
How
my
old
mom
is your
and
sister?
Dad, well, now she's 30. But she got married, I guess 5 or 6 years
How much
ago.
time do I have?
I'm not sure.
what's that? How old are you?
29. No.
You're pushing it a little bit. It's a little. When you talk about getting married, I mean, you get married to have kids and start a family,
I
right?
like that.
But you can always do that later too. Unless you meet
Nah.
somebody they can't live without.
You can't though.
Kids
'Cause,
seem like they cost so
They
much
can.
money.
I feel like the older that women get though,
Yeah.
like the harder it is. Like
Nah, there's science.
reproduction gets a little bit more.
You got
risky.
science on your side.
Yeah, but you don't have to marry someone your own age either.
True.
Like,
could
did your
marry
sister
someone
marry someone
older.
who was her own age?
Slightly younger.
Mm.
By like
Good for her, man.
Around the cradle.
Oh, that
Lace
was
the
That's
fingers.
never gonna get old.
We should start a relationship advice podcast.
I
With-
pitched
with
that.
Bra-
No,
with
I
Brandon.
pitched that a while ago.
So Teddy talked me into him playing Limbo, even though it's kind of like a really dark game, but it's like fairy tale dark. I don't think it's any worse than some of those Grimm Brothers fairy tales where everyone's getting eaten by the end of the goddamn thing. So I decided, okay, let him play it because the puzzles are really challenging in it, and he's working his way through it. And I got to watch him get so fucking frustrated at platforming stuff and figuring out puzzles and all that. Like getting water levels up and stuff like that. He was just I could see it on him getting so fucking frustrated. So I had the whole conversation with him about it's okay. Video games will make you very, very mad sometimes. That'll happen.
Price
So
tag.
controllers.
Oh, yeah.
They're the biggest thing that you've destroyed.
I actually broke a controller in half in my hand.
An original Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Duke.
Gus watched me do it.
I
Yeah.
was there. I was like,
That's pretty bad.
Stop filming for a bit.
Blaine?
That was over. I couldn't get a shot right in Red vs. Blue like season 1 or 2, and it was just like tried 1,000 times. I was just like,
I think it was. I think it was season 3.
Was it?
I think so.
I actually went like this with it, like that, twisted it.
Torqued it.
Yeah.
And then he just like, and then grabbed another one.
Yeah.
And kept
That
going.
No,
is
it was like
amazing.
he broke. Like he got so mad, he broke it and was like, put it down. I was like, all right, let's go ahead and try that again.
It might have worked like that.
iPhones, two iPhones.
You broke an
You
iPhone
broke an
because you were
iPhone really
mad?
well.
I mean, I got a new one, and there was like something slightly wrong with that one. Like, fuck, and I just threw it, and then I knew I'd get a new one, so I just
Well,
got rid of it.
there was this guy in Georgia who got really angry and just pissed off. He hadn't worked in like a year. Got in his pickup and then just drove through his house.
Yeah.
Just like completely fucked
Anger's a
it
real deal,
up.
man.
And they were just like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like, "Well, I've been out of work for a year, but I'm a contractor, so I guess I have something to work on now."
I have a job
That is
now.
so stupid.
And then the
That's
police
looking up.
came and they like interrogated him, but at the end of the day, it was his house
And his truck.
so they couldn't do anything.
I've
Wow.
considered
Way to
stuff
find
like
you found that fast. Man drives to your house on purpose. I totally get it. I totally get it. I
No.
yeah.
No.
I totally get
No,
it.
that's insanity.
What?
That is
Totally get it.
insanity.
What are you talking about?
I totally get it.
No.
Yeah, fuck that house.
You're
I totally
not-
get it.
A controller is a pretty far.
I've done other stuff besides break a controller.
You said that was the most expensive thing, though.
No, and yeah, but well, listen, I've done stuff that's like matter. That's like when I was younger and a teenager. One time, getting so mad, I got so mad one time I actually physically hit myself, like in the forehead. I got so mad. I can't remember what it was about, but I remember I hit myself hard enough to hurt myself.
Did you apologize to yourself later?
No, I just realized immediately that I was a fucking idiot.
That's
for
so
doing
stupid.
That. Really, you never like taking your hand and like hit your own head for doing something stupid?
No.
I'll bang my head against something.
Will
like
you?
this.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I'm really mad, I'll be like, fuck, just like hit a wall.
One of my favorite football clips of all time is the guy who's fucking so pumped up and he's running around to all of his teammates and he's got no helmet on. He just goes, wham, to one of his
Oh, God.
helmeted teammates, just like full-on headbutt with his forehead. And it's just like, you're a fucking idiot. And that was awesome.
That is for you.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
just smashed desks with my fist. And one time I was playing Xbox and I think Madden, and I just took my controller and I just started wailing on my table in my living room, and it was a cheap IKEA table. So for the longest time, you just saw like this giant indention of like the side of an Xbox controller.
Yeah,
That would
those
just
little
like fit
those little
naturally.
handles that come down,
Yeah.
those will perfectly dent wood.